So this isn't a haul by any stretch, but this is a collection of pieces, mostly secondhand, that I have recently added to my wardrobe that I'm really excited about, and I haven't shared them here because I haven't done one of these kind of videos in a while, so I want to do that today. I hope you enjoy. If you're not familiar with me, welcome to my channel. I am Kristen from Kristen Kane Style. I'm a style and mindset coach, and I can help you understand how your thoughts and your feelings are creating your style struggles. It is my favorite thing to do in the whole world, to help a woman really clearly understand why she's been spinning her wheels and feeling stuck in an area of her style, trying all the things that seem like they should be working to get her unstuck, yet she's not making any headway. And when we begin to work together, I can very clearly and quickly show her exactly what's in the way, and we can overcome it, and then we can build outfits and shop and do all the things. If you're interested in learning more about working with me one-on-one, style therapy is how we do that. There is a link down below. Okay, let's start with this sweatshirt. So, bright red, not my normal color scheme, color palette. However, I love a pop of red. I am not probably ever going to have tons of red in my wardrobe, but I'm always going to have some. I was thrifting with my whole family at some point over the holidays and came across this fabulous sweatshirt. It was multiple sizes too big for me by rights. When I first purchased it, the bottom hung pretty close to, middle of my thigh. And it was just generally way too big. I could have worn it as a dress probably, but I decided that with a pair of scissors, I could make it something that I really enjoyed, and I have. I have worn this probably more than my family wants to see it. I am now a proud resident of Salt Lake City, Utah, and it has felted, true, stitched on letters, which I like. That kind of old school vibe makes me feel like I'm back in the 80s. And I literally just kind of measured it against some things that I already like and took some scissors to it and chopped off the bottom. And I'm really enjoying it. It is still, the sleeves are pretty long, but I wear it during the week. I wear it on weekends. I'm thrilled with it. So this is a recent addition. The jeans I have on, I believe I have shared about them before. They are the 501s that had the missing belt loops. They had 2 belt loops that were gone when I purchased them. Actually, I was so excited about them the day that I purchased them that I did not notice that they were missing belt loops until I got them home. Thankfully, I had a pair of Levi's that were about the same color that were ready to be donated. So now, unfortunately, the next person who gets those will have to put on new belt loops. It's sort of passing it down the line. But I took 2 belt loops off of that and attached them to these jeans. I just recently learned something that I did not know about Levi's denim, and I'm going to pass it on to you. Specifically 501s, although I believe it is true for Levi's denim across the board. So the requirement for something to be vintage is, I believe, 25 years old. So at this point, 2000 or earlier would be considered vintage. So with Levi's, if the tag on the back or the tag inside states made in USA, that is considered to be vintage at this point because those pieces were made prior to 1999. There's kind of conflicting information. Some say prior to 1995, but if the inside tag or the outside tag says made in USA, you are guaranteed at this point, those are vintage. So these are, I'm not usually looking for specifically vintage Levi's. Although now that I have this pair of vintage 501s, these are from 1995, they are made in the USA, I kind of only want, they're just different. They feel better than most of my other Levi's. So I'm going to be looking to add some additional pairs of Levi's. But if you're shopping for Levi's and are wondering if they are vintage, look for Made in USA on the tag. I have now checked all of mine. This is the only pair I have that is indeed that old. And I'm super excited about them and glad that now the belt loop works, even though I don't have a belt on today because I'm going to get to a belt in a second. So the next thing I have to show is also a sweatshirt, which is a little bit odd for me because I don't wear sweatshirts that often, or I wasn't wearing sweatshirts that often. And my kids wear sweatshirts and they always look great in them. And so I thought, keep your eye out for some sweatshirts, Kristen, and see, that's a category in your wardrobe where you don't have one you love. And I feel like with all of our clothing, and especially with that kind of yummy comfort piece, if it isn't yummy and comfortable, then we don't tend to put it on, which was what was happening with some of the older sweatshirts that I had. They weren't ever really all that fabulous. I didn't love wearing them that much. There was something just a little off with the way they fit and felt. So I was on the lookout. This one I purchased secondhand for about $5 and cut off the bottom. This one I actually purchased at the airport. I was at the airport at our gate waiting to fly to Ohio to visit my mom and my sister. And I said to Matthew, just watch my stuff a minute. I'm going to go over and try on that sweatshirt. And I did. If you have watched any of my other videos, you know that this one is much more in keeping. Navy and cream with a stripe is much more in keeping with my normal color palette in my wardrobe. Papa Red is great, but this is more me. And I wasn't trying to be full on, a Utah representative at this point. However, this one too has the felt stitched on letters that just has some nostalgia for me. I love the way this one fits. They were buy two for a certain price. And so I bought my sister one. Hers is a little different, but I bought my sister one also. So I hope she's enjoying it as much as I do. The next item I'm going to show is not actually secondhand. So most of my wardrobe at this point is secondhand. I would say 80+% is secondhand. However, I still buy brand new t-shirts. It doesn't mean I won't ever buy a t-shirt thrifted or secondhand, but I wear t-shirts a lot and I want them to be clean and fresh and in the colors that I want. And t-shirts often at secondhand level, if they're not new with tags or, just really didn't get any wear, they tend to be a little more worn than some other items. So I have no problem buying new t-shirts because that's what I like. My favorite is from J. Crew. It is the J. Crew Girlfriend tee. It has a seam down the back, which I just think is a nice detail, even when no one can see it because I have it layered under things. And I have these in multiple colors. And they do sell out. I always make sure that I purchase them in like August when they first start to come out for the fall. They make it in a short sleeve, and I think they might even make it in a sleeveless, like a tank. I have some of the short sleeve, but I wear a long sleeve. I like this one the best. So they were on sale and starting to sell out for the season. So I ordered a few. I ordered a couple extra white because I wear the white the most often. I ordered this kind of oatmeal color because this works with a lot of my cardigans and other sweaters and jackets. And then I didn't have a navy blue, so I ordered a navy blue because once again, it just works with all of my clothing and all of the pieces that I wear layered. So these are J. Crew. They are not thrifted. They were purchased new. Next one I don't think I've ever shared because when I thrifted it in Colorado last year, it went right into our storage container because it wasn't time to wear it here in Utah. And then it was summer when we got our container and moved into our more permanent home here. And so I haven't had a chance to wear it until now. So this blouse is actually from Anthropologie. It was part of a conversation collection that they had when I worked there. That was 52 different prints that they released throughout the year. This is print 23. And I will just come a little closer so you can hopefully see that it is skiers all over it. I am not a skier, but I live in one of the ski capitals of the country. And so it felt important to have this, especially since it was secondhand and it didn't cost very much. And it is oversized from what I would have probably purchased when I worked at Anthropologie, and I like that about it, so I can wear it kind of slouchy. It's just soft and comfortable. I don't own many blouses because I prefer knits, but this one works with a lot of my different cardigans layered over it. I have worn it to listen to bluegrass with all of my skiing friends. It's just kind of a fun conversation piece, which obviously is what Anthro had in mind since it is part of a conversation line from several years ago. And I think it's just kind of fun because I have skied, but not since I was in like high school. So I'm not a skier, but I live where there are lots of skiers. So this is just a fun shirt. So this one, I'll try this one on. This is just a flannel secondhand shirt that I purchased. It's by a brand called Compass, and it is 100% cotton, and it is outrageously soft. It feels like really worn in flannel pajamas or something. And two of my kids were shopping at a really great vintage store here called Vantage, if you're ever in Salt Lake City. And they purchased each for themselves a version of this. Theirs are both darker colors, but they were essentially just great oversized menswear flannel shirts that someone now has a business, I'm assuming, of shortening them and then reselling them. So they each purchased theirs already shortened and ready to wear. I did not buy one that day. I wasn't really looking and shopping. I was just hanging out with them, but I wanted one. And so I decided I would keep my eye out and look when we were thrifting to see if I could find one that I could just shorten myself so that I could be part of this fun trend without having to have somebody else shorten it. So this one I really liked because it's a lighter background. Oftentimes flannels are either really dark or really Christmassy. And I have a great Black Watch plaid shirt from Abercrombie from many years ago, thrifted, that I love. But I don't wear wovens as often as I wear knits, t-shirts and sweaters and that sort of thing. I didn't want to invest a ton of money, and because I wasn't sure how much I was going to wear it, and I knew that I could run up a hem, shorten it and run up a hem. So that's exactly what I did. So this I purchased, I don't usually wear it with a t-shirt under it, but I can. This I purchased secondhand one day, and it was, again, very long, and I just decided about where I wanted it to hit, and then folded it under a couple of times, ironed it, and stitched it. I am not a seamstress. I have a sewing machine. I know how to sew. I can do basic alterations, basic repairs, so straight lines. And so this was relatively easy. And it's not that, I mean, I think the ones my kids purchased were maybe $45, all in with my time and energy to shorten this one, plus purchasing this one. It probably came to about the same. But I really like the color of this one, and it feels like it goes from winter into spring because of the lightness of the plaid. And the fabric, I really wish you could feel it because it is beyond dreamy how soft and broken in it is. Okay, next. So if you've seen any of my other videos, you might be aware that I am a Quince partner. Brand Quince I have found to be more incredible than I even knew they were prior to partnering with them. And I knew they were incredible when I was purchasing pieces from them. And now that I'm working with them in partnership and they are gifting me pieces, I am just continually amazed at their customer service, the quality of their pieces, the price point for their pieces, blown away. So this is not a Quince promotion. I just want to share something that I think is cool and interesting. So I have this blouse in 3 colors. I have, as you can tell, not worn the gray yet, but I have it in cream. I've worn it many times. It is the Peasant blouse from Quince. So I have this one and the cream. I have a client who has been a client of mine for many years, and she purchased this one in navy blue. And the first time she wore it, she pulled it over her head, and the buttons are attached with just little elastic loops. So the first time she wore it, when she went to take it off, one of those little elastic loops popped open. So just one side was attached. It was no longer attached completely, therefore didn't work. So she called Quince, she called me, and I said, definitely call them, and they will, I'm sure, make it right. So she called Quince, and Quince said, we don't want it back. You can donate it or gift it to someone, but we'll send you out another one. So they sent her a new navy blue blouse. And she kindly asked me if I wanted this one and said she would pop it in the mail to me, which she did. Once it arrived, I thought, well, I could fix it by sticking that elastic back in there and stitching it. But I think what I'd rather do is just cut that off and cut the button off and just let the shirt be a little different. So that's what I did. So this one has buttons that go all the way up, and this one now doesn't, because I took off the buttons and I cut off right at the edge the little loops that were the elastic for the button. So it's the same shirt, but I have modified this one. I'm not suggesting you do this. I'm just sharing with you that that's what I chose, given that I ended up with this navy blue one, which I love. And I didn't really feel like trying to fix it. And I like the idea that now that I have 3 of this same blouse, this one has the buttons all the way up and so does the white one. And this one now is just a little bit different and has a little bit more of an open neckline where the buttons just start a little further down. So this is new to me, but I did not purchase it. It was gifted by a client after Quince replaced hers. Okay, let's see. I'm going to jump ahead to blazers. So this blazer I have shown before, but I'm excited to just show it again because now it is finished. So when I shared it, I think the day that I shared these jeans, sometimes when I thrift, side note, sometimes when I thrift, it's like biting off more than I can chew. I'm kind of overly ambitious about the sewing projects or the amendments that I'm willing to make to a garment. And sometimes Greta has to kind of rein me in and say, Mom, that's a project. Like, you don't need another project. And she's right. This blazer, I was willing to make a project. It did hang in my closet for quite a while prior to finishing it. It is now finished. So the lapel was really wide and pretty dated looking. I could have just worn it like that, but I really thought I'll like this better if the lapel is a little more narrow. I took out the top stitching, tucked in, like folded inside the lapel so that it was narrower, and ran up a stitch. I shared on a different YouTube video that I was in progress of that. One side was pinned, the other side wasn't. It is now finished. This blazer, and I'm going to point this out if you haven't seen it already, now you will. This blazer has a bit of a stain of some sort that I could not get out. It's machine washable, and I have washed it, and I treated the stain, but it would not come out. It's almost like a rust stain. I think that I am going to just kind of visible mend it, like use some pretty embroidery floss in some colors that work, and either put a couple little flowers or just a little hash kind of line design right there, and maybe in another spot so that it kind of balances it. because I want to just wear it. I have been wearing it like it is. I have a couple pins I could put on it if I wanted to, but I like the idea of just kind of mending with a couple of stitches and letting it, be good enough. And I hadn't shown it since I fixed the lapel, but now the lapel is fixed. Next up in the blazer category is this one. If you've been around a while, you have likely heard me say that I don't wear brown. It doesn't make me happy. And so you might be wondering, Kristen, are you putting on a brown blazer? I take that back. Brown now does make me happy. When I made those videos, there was no brown in my closet except for shoes and belts. Brown didn't make me happy. It wasn't a color I wanted to wear. Now, I believe that, I don't know, we're in a new year. I don't remember if brown, I think brown is the color of the Pantone color of 2025, some shade of brown. That is not why I'm wearing brown. I actually got a brown cashmere sweater last fall, and my love for brown, or my interest in brown, has been growing since. This was a very inexpensive thrift find, also machine washable, just fun. I love a blazer, and I have navy and black, and I wear them pretty often. And this one is kind of tweedy with, some cream and some flecks of other color. It's comfortable. It's not heavyweight, but I like that I can wear it into spring and wear it with whites and creams and color if I wanted to underneath it. Now I'm going to jump ahead to another new item. If you follow me on Instagram, you probably saw that I recently shared this leopard belt from J. Crew. I previously owned this leopard belt from J. Crew. I had thrifted it new with tags, and I was thrilled about that because I didn't want to pay full price of $70 for a belt because I had always found them at really great, reasonable prices. And so when I found it new with tags thrifted, I was thrilled. The thing is, I love leopard belts. It has been now about a decade that I have been wearing a leopard belt almost every day that I'm dressed with any kind of pants with a belt loop. And it has become part of my signature. So I look for them everywhere I go, thrifted or full price. I always try to have one in mind that I could purchase when mine wears out. You might be saying, Kristen, how do they wear out? They're belts. Belts last forever. Yes, except leopard belts do not, because the fur wears off no matter what. And I've tried to find some that are printed instead of actually furry, and I just haven't found one that I love. So they all have kind of that napped texture, whether they're faux or real leather, and eventually that wears off and they start to just look kind of crummy. So I wish that there was a leopard belt that was indestructible that I could wear every day and that it didn't start to look kind of worn out at the buckle area, but I haven't found that yet. So recently J. Crew put this belt on sale and I decided that I needed to have it. It is just really, truly my favorite way to finish even just jeans and a t-shirt, as you can see right here. I keep thinking I might tire of a leopard belt, and I just don't see that ever happening. I do not wear animal print in other areas really in my wardrobe, but a leopard belt, it's not that I wouldn't wear leopard shoes, I just haven't ever found any that I really love. But leopard belt goes with every shoe I wear, and I'm gonna continue to wear it. So this one's a good one. These jeans also, I can't remember if I shared or not, so I'm gonna pop them on now so that you can see them. They are Old Navy. I purchased them secondhand. I was shopping with Greta. They are sweatpants soft. They're ridiculously soft. I had seen them in Old Navy and actually even took a picture of them in Old Navy and then didn't buy them because I didn't really think I needed them. And I really do prefer Levi's almost always. And yet these were just too good to pass up. They're so soft. They're just silly soft. I like the faded wash and I really like the fact that they're cargo, so they're a little different than all my faded Levi's. So these have been a good addition. Now skirts. I am having a moment with full skirts. I loved full skirts at a point in my past very much. And then I kind of got away from wearing full skirts and now they're having a moment again. And so I am happy to be exploring the world of full skirts. So I'm going to try these on so that you can see them. So this one, I'm going to tuck the t-shirt in for the sake of a better visual. This one is actually JG Hook, which I haven't looked up if they are even still a brand. This skirt, I feel like my mother could have worn in like the 80s or late 70s. It probably has a little too much yellow in it for her, but it's got a lot of kind of deep reds and navy blues, which is right up her alley. Hi, Mom. And it has pockets. When I purchased it, I really just tried it on to put jeans under it, because if you've heard me say before, if not, I will share this tip. When you are shopping secondhand or anywhere when you can't get into a fitting room, what I have learned is the fastest way to be able to try on jeans or pants discreetly or other skirts discreetly is to wear a skirt or a dress, but a skirt works in case you want to try on tops too. So if I don't have a skirt or don't wear a skirt thrifting, I will grab a skirt from the rack, put the skirt on, take off my pants, pull on the pants that I want to try on, and then I can pull up the skirt and see the pants. So I did that, and then I decided I liked the skirt. When I purchased it, the waist was a little too tight. It is 2 buttons. So I thought, this is not a difficult alteration. You can handle this. The skirt's a great price. You really love the pattern, buy the skirt. So I'm glad I did. I have already moved the button. It is much more comfortable. I love the swing. It's a really soft cotton and rayon. It washed well. I'm excited to be able to wear this as the weather warms up. And I can wear it with, if I wanted it to be, a little bit kind of old school, this really feels like the 80s. I could put it on with this peasant blouse, and then I could put it on with a little pair of sneakers or a little pair of sandals or flats. And if I wanted to have it be a little more fun, I could put it on with something like the Utah sweatshirt and a pair of sneakers or flats or sandals. I probably will wear it more with a sweatshirt or a chunky sweater, and then with probably a band tee as the weather gets warmer, just because otherwise it's going to feel a little nerdy and frumpy on me. I also now we'll share these boots that I purchased. I did not have a pair of pretty classic Chelsea boots. I was not looking for a pair. And then I always kind of take a peek in the size 10 area to see if there's anything. These are by the brand Soft, and they're by rights a little more cordovan, deeper brown than I would choose. I'm a more saddle brown person, and yet they're really comfortable. They were a great price. And for instance, with this skirt and a sweatshirt or a sweater, or a little, and some little socks that kind of show. These are a little short, but I could do some fun little socks that would show. They're really comfortable. And I haven't worn them much yet. I haven't worn them with a skirt yet. I've only worn them with pants, and I think they're pretty great. So this does feel a little bit like a past version of me, because this vibe of a full skirt and some sort of a top and chunky boots, I feel like I wore at some point, and I'm excited to wear it again. I'm good with this. And then this skirt, same thing. I grabbed it to try on and then decided I liked it so much I was going to keep it. So I'll try this one on for you now. Feels a bit like Little House on the Prairie hour or something, which is fine with me. It's really a pretty happy space for me to dress like Laura Ingalls. No problem with that. So this skirt, same thing. I tried it on because I needed to try on a pair of pants and grab this skirt. Then once I put it on, I thought, I actually really like this skirt. I like it because it feels like tan pants. It feels like a pair of khakis, only it's a skirt. I like how long it is. It's from Gap. It has nice deep pockets. The downside of this skirt was that it was probably the dirtiest thing I ever thrifted. I didn't know it when I was at the store. Once I got it home and had washed it once and was ready to iron it, I noticed that it almost was like someone rolled around in a salad. There were oil stains. It was terrible. And I was really disappointed. I was ready to look on Poshmark and see if I could find another one, because I had, at that point, decided how much I was going to wear it and love it, and was really sad that it was so stained. So I started with Dawn Blue dishwashing soap, which I usually use to remove stains. It lifted some of them, and then I went to Less Oil, which is kind of the next level of let's cut the grease and get the stains out. Most of them came out. If I look closely, I can still see them. And I decided I don't care. It doesn't matter to me that there are some stains somewhere on it. I feel like it's full enough and forgiving enough, and I'm probably going to stain it somehow anyway, that I don't need to look for another one on Poshmark. I'm just gonna wear this one and enjoy it. I'm loving the re-entry of skirts into my wardrobe. I'm excited. It's not that I won't wear them when it's cold, but I'm excited for warmer weather when I can wear them more with tank tops and sandals, and also through the spring when I can just layer things and wear them with boots and sneakers and that sort of thing. So those are the pieces that I have recently added to my wardrobe, and I wanted to share, keep you up to date with what's happening in there. So I'm going to start something new here and see how it goes. I'm going to start a series of sorts where I make outfits with specific pieces. So let's say skirts could be a category, and I would collect all my full skirts and I would make different outfits with the full skirts. And then a different day I might do blazers, and then a different day I might do cream sweaters or pale denim. Because I feel like I want to be sharing more outfits, and yet it feels so overwhelming to consider where to start. So I've had people ask how to make outfits out of specific pieces. So I'm just going to start there. I'm going to pick a category. If you have a category you want to see, drop it in the comments below. I'm going to pick a category, and then I'm going to make a video on how I would make outfits with those pieces from my own wardrobe so that you can see kind of my process of if I were going to wear one of these skirts, what would I really pull from my closet in order to make different looks with them. And I'm just going to kind of work through the categories that I can think of. And if you offer any categories, I will be happy to add those to the roster. But I want to be sharing more outfit building videos as well as the coaching videos where I'm just sitting and talking, because I think that's really important. Also, I am a style coach. I am not someone who is all about just making outfits for women. I want women to understand what's going on in their brain and with their thoughts and their feelings that is contributing to the stuckness they feel when it's time to get dressed and make outfits or shop or pack or any of those things. So I'm not going to abandon the coaching videos that I do, but I like to make outfits. So I'm going to start that soon, so stay tuned and we'll see how it goes. If you are ready to solve your style struggles and you would like my help, we can work one-on-one together. Style therapy is how we do that. There is a link down below for all the details, as well as a link to apply for style therapy. I only take 3 women each month now as new clients inside style therapy. It is a 3-month container. It is intentionally a little bit longer of a container than you might think you need for your style renovation, but I promise you that that gives us time to really have you implement and integrate and embody the changes that you want to make in your wardrobe. So I only take 3 clients a month. If you'd like to be one of them, there's a link down below. And if you're not already on my email list, there is a link for that down below also, and you'll get my Style Basics checklist when you sign up to join my email list. If you'd like to keep watching, I will drop in a video right here where I share some other thrifted pieces from the past. And I will be back next Friday with a new video. I hope you have a really beautiful week. Thank you so much for tuning in.